Welcome back and happy Monday to you. Hard not to note the misery on Wall Street lately. The Dow plunged more than 400 points shortly after the opening bell on Friday. Not helping matters, the price of oil falling to levels that we have not seen in years. This morning, the markets closed, so we're all catching our breath for a moment. Joining us this morning to talk a little bit about the tumultuous markets is Chris Shreves, President and CEO of Securus, along with Securus Vice President of Business Development, Bart Humphrey. Gentlemen, nice to have you here.
Good morning.
Bart, I got to hand it to you. You know, Kent and I are the ones that are supposed to be predicting the future for a living, but a couple of weeks ago, maybe about a month ago, you were in the Great Day Studios talking about a scenario that looks a lot like what's come to pass over the last couple of weeks here.
Well, I wish I'd have been wrong.
Yeah, me too.
You know,
no insult intended.
No, that's quite fine. Things have been tumultuous all around the globe, and we're going from one hot spot to another. You turn on the TV, they talk of war. You turn on the TV, you see terrorism. All these things, unfortunately, affect our markets. The world is a very small place. And we believe when you retire, you shouldn't have to worry about those things. You need to walk out the door. It needs to be the last time you walk out the door of your workplace. Let retirement be enjoyment.
And there are people who are invested in certain types of investments who didn't lose a wink of sleep when the markets were up, down, 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 and more down over the last week or so, 2 weeks. Chris, explain to me how that's possible for some people. What are they doing that the rest of us aren't doing?
Well, we didn't lose any sleep either because we didn't get any phone calls from our clients asking us, did I lose any money? So, you know, what we do is we actually look at people's finances and we try to show them, we've said it a million times, how conservative consistency can outperform occasional brilliance. You don't have to be worried every day of retirement whether you're going to be able to get through the end of retirement. And the markets have gone up and down in the last 5 years, but mostly up. And, you know, these things just, you know, can't continue to go in that direction. And so we have proven that. I think we actually brought a chart here today.
Yeah, you call it the real benefits chart. And there's 3 different lines on here, so explain to me what we're seeing.
Well, the 2 most important lines is the red line shows the actual stock market, which is the S&P 500. Shows how volatile the market has been from 1998 all the way up to 2015. The red line over here now has actually dropped considerably. We've actually given back in some areas, almost 5 years of growth.
Let's think about that for a second. In the span of days, if not weeks, we've given back 5 years of earnings in certain sectors of the stock market.
Correct. And so the green line uses a monthly averaging indexed annuity, and it shows how that annuity, when the market goes up, we actually get a portion of that gain. But when the market goes down, we're not losing any money at all. We're not giving back any of the money. So you don't get all of those, you know, great gains when the markets are going up. But the interest that's credited to your account gets locked in, it becomes principal, it never goes away. So you never have to really worry about whether your money is going to be gone at the time that you need it.
So what I see, layman's standpoint here, is when the red line, stock market, plunges, the green line, the indexed annuity that you're talking about, goes flat. It's not necessarily experiencing big growth, but while stocks are crashing, maybe that's too harsh a word, but while stock prices are dropping significantly, you're flat to maybe meager growth.
Right, and what really is crazy here is the blue line on here is the guarantee that this product offers. And if you'll notice how many times the blue line, which is the guarantee, is actually above what the stock market is actually doing.
Sure, yeah.
So, I mean, you know, in this particular case, we don't really have to worry about the blue line because the green line is way above it. And so what I can do is just encourage people to know that they can come into our office. We can show them the kind of money that they can actually get in a monthly payment with regards to their retirement plan. And, you know, these products have what they call a lifetime income benefit rider tied to them, which are kind of like a built-in pension. The only thing is the portion that you don't use by the time you pass away goes to your beneficiary, unlike a pension.
Ah, gotcha. I mean, it's worth considering at the very least. Chris and Bart, thank you both so much for being here. We appreciate it. If you'd like to get in touch with the Securus advisor for a free consultation, you can call 636-720-1900, or 800-720-4252.
Hey, have you done your taxes yet? Even if you haven't, I'll bet you got that little packet from your tax preparer that says, hey, start gathering your things, getting everything together, because April 15th will be here before you know it. Well, what if there was a way to reduce your taxable income? Well, there is, and this guy can help us. He's going to make you feel better about yourself and your future. It's Chris Sheaves. He's the president and CEO of Securus Insurance, Financial, and Estate Planning, and he can help you secure your tomorrow today. Taxes, it is that time.
It is.
And I got my packet from my tax preparer the other day, like I do every year at the first, and I think, I'm going to do this right now and get it ready and turn it in and, you know, get done early and all of that. And of course I never do. But the reality is, as we're gathering all this stuff to get our taxes done, and you know the things I'm talking about, the receipts and all these different things, statements, that's basically what you're asked to do with a financial planner. And if you're doing it for your taxes anyway, it's the perfect time to get somebody to look over your stuff.
Yeah, we actually call it the train wreck. You know, at the end of the year, you take this train wreck to the tax person, and they're supposed to tell you how much you owe or what you're going to get back, right?
Yeah.
And so, you know, for years, when I started in this business, one of the things we prided ourselves in is helping people reduce or eliminate the taxation, and for seniors on their Social Security. That's a big one.
That's huge.
Nobody likes to pay tax on that, for sure.
Yeah.
So what we try to ask them to do is you know, gather their stuff together when they are acquiring it for their tax person anyway.
Right.
We can give them a list that tells them, you know, any additional information that
Right.
we might need, so that they can gather that while they're going through all those files.
Sure.
I mean, they might as well get all the stuff they need and then come in and
to
see
do it
us.
once.
Correct.
And here's a couple things. First of all, I've heard you say this before, people are sometimes too embarrassed to go in because of the train wreck aspect. They don't want to go in with a box of papers and burdensome. You're like, that's fine with us.
Bring
We
it
do
in.
this this is what we do.
Yep.
Okay? And number two, you can also do their taxes for them there, right?
That's correct. Right. Yeah, we actually have a tax department, and if you know you want to get your taxes done somewhere else and then come have us check it out, we'd be happy to do that. Our tax people will actually look at your taxes at no charge, and if they can't at least get you back what it would cost what they would charge you to do that, then you know there would be no charge to do those taxes.
But then as you and this is another thing I always do when I go, I just want to get in there and get my check if I got a refund and go cash it before they figure out there was some kind of vital mistake, you know. And I never think about the next year, but it's also a good idea to plan for the coming years so that you don't put yourself at risk of all these hidden taxes and all these things. There's just things you can do now to make your burden less for next year.
It sure makes it a lot more simple when you start at the beginning of the year, so that next year, by the time you get the tax season, you're not paying that tax against your Social Security.
Right.
You know, if you've slowed it up now, then it will really help. So.
And we haven't even touched on the fact that this guy's group has never lost a dime in the market for any of their customers, their clients, not one dime. We could go on about that, but we wanted to stick with the tax thing because that's the season.
Yeah, I had a client that posted a picture on Facebook with a Securus cup saying, "I'm enjoying my morning cup of joe because thanks to Securus, I haven't lost any money."
That's good. That's when you know you're doing the right thing. Thank you, Chris. If you'd like to get in touch with Securus Advisors for a free consultation, you can call them at 636-720-1900 or 800-720-4252. The Securus website, also very easy to navigate, friendly for people like me. Click on securemoneyplan.com. We've also added a link to greatdaystlouis.com. Again, never lost a dime for a client. That's important.
Very important.
Chris, appreciate it.
So it is the new year, and many of you are taking a look at your money and how you can keep more of what you make. Well, it's time now for Money Matters Monday, and Chris Sheaves, the president and CEO of Securus Insurance, Financial, and Estate Planning, joins us this morning. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
I love the way you've kind of framed this conversation this morning, which is, think about it almost like a New Year's resolution or a goal that you've always had, and you think, you know, I could always lose weight next year. I could always do this X, Y, and Z next year. People do that with finances, too. I'm sure you see it every day.
Oh, yeah, it happens every day. No question about it. You know, I really wish people would be more proactive than reactive, is really what I would say, because it actually becomes a problem when they get closer to retirement, and then you're in a mode where you're trying to fix it all at one time, and it's really hard to do. If you think about this, if you went to your lawyer and you told him that you wanted to create a plan so that when you died, your things would go exactly where you wanted them to go. And he said, okay, we're going to put all this together, and hopefully it'll work. You know, I don't think
would give me pause.
Yeah, that's not the plan you're looking for. You're looking for a plan that will work.
Yeah.
And of course, that's the kind of plans that we put together for finance for retirement. You know, think about it this way, Matt. You probably buy car insurance.
Of course.
Okay, you buy health insurance.
Definitely.
And you probably buy homeowners insurance, right? And we pay a little bit of money each month out of our pocket for that. Do you like buying all that stuff?
Not a big fan, but it's important.
Okay, but it makes you feel comfortable, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Peace of mind, and it's protecting my pocketbook should something bad happen.
And so, you know, if you think about this, when you buy that insurance, you're hoping that, you know, that you don't wreck your car. But if you did wreck your car, the money is going to come from the insurance company, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So the point being here is that if you have finances, why wouldn't you want to insure your finances, your retirement? Why wouldn't you want to do that?
I would want to do it.
You would, okay? So
Yeah,
that's
sure.
what we do. We help people ensure the retirement plan is going to work. And, you know, unless your house has burned down 3 times in the last 15 years, you know, you can kind of see where insurance comes in, because that insurance is protecting the money that's in your pocket, so you don't have to come out of your pocket to pay for the new car if you wrecked it, right? So you're really protecting the money in your pocket.
So just to make this concretely clear for everybody, you're talking about investment opportunities out there that guarantee some kind of return, or at least guarantee no loss when the stock market takes a big dip, right?
That's what we're all about. I mean, I couldn't have said it better. Absolutely guarantee a plan that will work. Call us. We can do it for you. I'm telling you.
And, you know, again, just to go back to something you said early on here, it's never too early to start. It can be too late, but it's never too early, I guess.
That's correct.
To keep this
Yeah,
ball
you really
rolling.
need to get started as soon as possible.
Yeah.
But I'm just telling you, it's a new year. Give us a call. We will guarantee you a plan and tell you exactly 5 years from now if you want to retire, a year from now. You tell us how much money you have, we'll tell you exactly what your paycheck's going to be. Or it might be better than what we tell you when you get ready to retire, but it won't be worse.
Got it. Chris, I like that. So none of this, you're walking out shaking hands and saying, hope the plan works. No, it's
Well,
gonna work.
you know what we call it? Buy and hope when you go to the stock market.
Yeah, I gotcha. How about buy and sleep well? If you've got a question for Chris or any of his circle of advisors, jump on our Facebook page and message us. If you'd like to get in touch with the Securus advisor directly for a free consultation, you can call them 636-720-1900 or 800-720-4252. And their website, too, a great resource, securemoneyplan.com. Guys?
Makes a lot of sense. Makes me kind of nervous, too, just in
Shouldn't,
general.
because you got him.
Yeah.
Well,
the
sit
whole
down
idea.
with me.
And I'm close to retirement, so that is good.
I sat down with him. He said, Ken, you got to have money to begin with.
Yes.
Well, there's that.
Really good information, though.
Time now for Money Matters Monday. Do you dream of leaving the workforce? Yeah, someday. Who doesn't? But the real question is, will you have enough money to do it when the time comes? Chris Shreves is the president and CEO of Securus Insurance, Financial, and Estate Planning. Busy season because one of the umpteen things they do over there at Securus is tax preparation. So this is a busy time of year. Good morning to you.
Well, good morning.
You know, very simply put, it's math. It's how much you're spending versus how much money is coming in. But as you get closer to retirement, it's a lot more complicated than that sounds.
Well, yeah, primarily because when you get to the point that you are going to retire, you really don't know how long you're going to live.
That's a problem.
Yeah, so to calculate that out and try and just take money away from your money every week or month, however you're going to get your check, is very difficult. So, you know, you want to make sure you understand how much you're spending each month, whether it's for, you know, gas, electric, rent, you know, whatever it is. And so in order to do that, you really just need to sit down and figure out your expenses for that month. Because if you've got more coming out of your check than you have coming in from your check, you have a problem.
Especially
okay?
if you're wanting to retire, because you're going to have even less coming in at that point. And then beyond that, too, people in their retirement have certain goals. They may want to dabble in a hobby that's kind of pricey. They may want to do some overseas traveling that hasn't been a part of that monthly budget before.
Well, you know, as most of us know, when we're not working, we're spending money. You know, we're out shopping, doing things.
Yep.
But, you know, it's really important to understand that in order to try to figure out how you're going to retire, you need to create a plan. And that's really what we want to be able to do, is sit down with people, make that plan, make sure that they can retire, and most importantly, so that they can get a paycheck, one that they cannot outlive. And so what we do is when people bring in all that math to us,
Yes.
we're going to sit down with them and we're going to tell them exactly how much they can get in retirement with what they have, and try to determine, is it the lifestyle that they're willing to go out on.
That sounds complicated, but this is exactly the kind of work you do. This is why you guys are there.
Correct.
And one of the things that strikes me too is the planning component of it is so critically important, and I must think it's very disheartening once you do hit retirement to see that nest egg sort of shrinking, because the reality is you're not going to be around forever, and while you may want to leave some things to the next generation, that's a part of the process.
If
right?
you're thinking about retirement and you've got a date in mind,
Yeah.
you really need to sit down and try to figure out if you can meet that date, and we can help you do that. If you understand that what the date is, we'll sit down, we'll take the amount of money that you have to work with, we'll tell you how many more years you either need to work to get to that point,
Yeah.
or if
Good.
you can leave earlier. You may be able to retire now and you don't even know it.
Wouldn't that be nice to walk out with some really good news? And an
Right.
important component of all of this is different types of retirement plans have different requirements in terms of when you're able to start accessing that money, how much you have to take out by certain age benchmarks or time benchmarks.
Yeah, in most cases, you have to be 59 and a half in order to take money out of a retirement plan. There are special provisions for people who do get to retire a little bit earlier,
Yeah.
that we can show them how to take money out of those plans without having to pay any penalty from the government. Because as you well know, 59 and a half is that retirement date where you can pull money from your IRA or 401k without a penalty.
Right.
But there are provisions that if you get yourself in a position where you're close to that and you want to start taking money out, we can show you how to do that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's a lot of options. I don't know how people do this on their own. I really don't. I guess you're Googling and you're trusting that whatever you're finding out there is accurate. Just go see the experts. This is what they do day in and day out. Chris, thank you very much. If you have a question for Chris or any of his circle of advisors, jump on our Facebook page and message us. We'll get that over to the folks at Securus, and they could answer your question right on the show. If you'd like to get in touch with a Securus advisor directly for a free consultation, call 636-720-1900 or 800-720-4252, or their website, too. Check that out, securemoneyplan.com. It's time now for Money Matters Monday, but since it's also Medical Monday, we thought we would tie the two together. We thought it's only fitting to try to answer any of those questions you might have about your medical claims. Oh boy. Chris Shreves is the president and CEO of Securus Insurance Financial and Estate Planning. He is also joined by Securus health insurance expert, Mr. Rick Gary. Gentlemen, how are you?
Good morning.
Magnificent. How about yourself?
I'm doing wonderful now that you guys are here, because I'm hoping you're going to answer all of these questions, because I will tell you, if there's a universal truth in this world in which we live, it's that nobody loves this process. Nobody loves working through medical claims. Nobody loves the whole health insurance structure as it is. So it seems like a very open-ended question to say, what are the questions that you guys typically get? What are the complaints that you're dealing with?
Well, we brought Ricky on board because of that circle of advisors, and we want to make sure we cover all of the issues that people might have when they come into our office. But, if you have a health problem, you normally, get kind of confused as to who you're supposed to call. If you wreck your car, you call your car insurance agent, right?
Right, and hope that they just take care of it.
Take care of it, right. And so I think Ricky can help us understand what we might need to do if we have a health issue that might come on.
So what he's saying is they just dump all this work, this insurance-related work, onto you and say, good luck.
That's what I live for.
Is it really? You're the first guy I've ever met that said that. So what are the common problems that people face? What are the most common questions?
Well, one of the common problems is whether something is paid in network or out of network. Yeah. That's a big problem. But the largest problem is that people do not take time to understand their policy. People generally have a pretty good understanding what their automobile insurance policy pays for, but you ask them about their health insurance policy, have no clue.
Yeah, no, so true.
So the first thing is that they don't know what should be paid and how it should be paid. So there's two interesting questions: what should be paid and how it should be paid.
Yeah.
So a lot of questions we get is that I'm gonna give you an example.
Sure.
Use a hypothetical guy. Actually, not so hypothetical.
May or may not be hypothetical. Yeah.
Marty's at home, starts feeling chest pains, severe chest pains, calls 911, emergency ambulance comes, picks him up, takes him to the emergency room. They run a slew of tests. He stays there for 4.5 hours. They monitor him. Pain goes away. They don't find anything. Marty is happy, goes back home. About 3 weeks later, Marty gets a bill for about $6,000. Marty's not very happy. The bills come from the hospitals. First thing Marty does is panic. Second thing he does is call the hospital. Hospital goes through things, and then the hospital says, you need to call your insurance company. Insurance company starts talking about things like EOBs, non-emergency, etc. After the insurance company says, you need to call the hospital. Well, after about an hour, 2 hours of frustration, nothing happening, Marty's just totally frustrated. That's what normally happens. What we recommend Marty should have done, once Marty got the bill, don't panic first of all, is actually then call the insurance company and get something called an explanation of benefits. And what an explanation of benefits is, it's a document that's produced by the insurance company that says, this occurred on this day, here are the providers, here's what they did, here's how much they charged, here's how much we paid. And it tells that patient or the client what was paid, how it was paid. Once he gets that document, either go to his insurance agent or to the HR. So if he works for an employer base, they want to go to HR, but if you own an individual or a small company, go to insurance agents. Then the insurance agent actually takes that document, looks at it, and decides what should have been paid. Did the insurance company process it correctly or not?
On the EOB correct?
Right. Did they do it correctly or not do it correctly? And that takes about 15 minutes of Marty's time. Rather than spending 2 hours of frustration, Marty's now condensed that to 15 minutes.
I love it. Wouldn't you just be able to let, and this is part of the circle of advisors that they offer over at Securus.
Yes.
It's a beautiful thing. Gentlemen, thank you very much. We really appreciate the time. It's complicated. We could do a whole show on this, but if you've got a question for Chris or any of his circle of advisors, you can jump on our Facebook page and message us. We'll make sure it gets over to him. If you'd like to get in touch with a Securus advisor for a free consultation, give him a call, 636-720-1900 or 800-720-4252 or securemoneyplan.com. All right, time now for Money Matters Monday. And this morning we're taking questions from one of our Great Day viewers. This is a good one, Patty. Thank you for taking the time to write. Patty Hutt asks a financial tax question. I closed out a small Roth IRA when I turned 59 and a half. I received a 1099-R which says, quote, taxable amount not determined. No Fed tax withheld. We did not earn any interest. Do I report it as income? Pfft, beats me. But I bet our next guest knows. Chris Shreves is the president and CEO of Securus Insurance, Financial, and Estate Planning. And they do really a lot of everything over there. He calls it his circle of advisors. Taxes, a huge component of what you guys do. And this is probably a relatively simple question compared to some of them that you get. But can you help Patty out?
Yeah, it is. The reason they sent out a 1099-R is because with IRAs, you have the opportunity to take it and roll it over within 60 days of the time that you got it and put it back into another IRA.
Okay.
So the R just represents rollover.
Okay.
But she's saying that she had really no interest earned or no gains in that account. So, you know, she won't have any taxable consequence to that as long as she's actually taken out the principal that she put back in. With a Roth IRA, you have to have it in there for 5 years before you take out any of the earnings.
Okay.
But you can pull the principal back out without, and because you've already paid tax.
Yes, right.
So you can pull the principal back out of that Roth IRA before the 5-year period. You just can't pull the earnings out.
Okay. So it's something that if I received a 1099-R, I'd probably take it to the tax professional I work with, but there's a good chance that that's not taxable.
Correct.
Okay. Which is why they didn't withhold any tax.
Exactly.
That's a good thing. Anything else that our viewers should know in general about IRAs and Roth IRAs and what other options might be out there for them?
Well, you know, this is the time of year that everybody's doing their taxes, so you can actually make a deposit into your Roth IRA up until the time that you file your tax return. So, you know, I would highly suggest that if you're going to do a IRA contribution, try to get it done this year. It's probably one of the better ways to save money. It's a forced saving, so to speak, you know.
And when you hear a guy like Chris Shreves say that's probably a good way to save money, because I mean that's what you're doing for people, especially people that are getting close to or now into retirement. You're advising them on what would be smart uses of their money.
Correct. And the Roth is actually one of the best because when you get to pull the money back out later on in life, there's no tax consequence on the money that you've earned.
And they're similar to other retirement funds in that we call it a Roth, but it's not like it's going into some Roth fund. It's money that you can invest in different places. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, you can invest it in anything that you'd like. The idea behind it is you've paid the taxes on the money before you actually put it into that, so you don't get to deduct that on your taxes like you would a traditional IRA.
Right. So different than a 401k where the money comes out before it's even been taxed.
Correct.
This is your own pool of money. You've already paid your taxes on it, and so that you have tax savings down the road.
Correct.
This is complicated. Thank goodness there's people like Chris in this world because there's so many options out there. We appreciate it. Come back next Monday. We'll do it again.
Absolutely.
Patty, thank you for the question, too, by the way. If you've got a question for Chris or any of his circle of advisors, you can jump on our Facebook page and message us. We'll make sure it gets over to Chris and the crew at Securus. And if you'd like to get in touch directly with a Securus advisor for a free consultation, you can do that, too. 636-720-1900 or toll-free 800-720-4252. Good website worth checking out, too. It's securemoneyplan.com.